Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to do a short update on what's been going on in the reef recently, and to be honest, it's been pretty bad. I mean, from a distance it looks like most things are pretty good, and especially if you can't tell, if you're not a hobbyist or whatever, this may look amazing to you, but things are pretty bad right now, and I'm kind of concerned with how the future of this tank's gonna go, but I'm optimistic that things will, change. So I'm gonna do a rundown of what's been going on in my tank. So first off, we're gonna start off with this candy cane coral. So if you remember, I used to have this candy cane coral over here, and this Duncan coral used to be where that candy cane coral was. And then oh wait, sorry, I don't even know. All my corals have just shifted because of them not being happy, and I can't remember what I moved since last video, but I moved this Goniapora over here, and I just fed him, so he looks a little more upset than usual. But he's been looking about the same as what he used to look like up here. But anyways, I'm hoping that if he doesn't change in the next probably 2 months, I'll probably start to move him into a higher flow, because I've heard mixed things about Ghani's, like in high flow versus low flow. So he's in a low flow area right now, and medium light. And so I'm kind of dealing with corals just not being happy, and ultimately I think it's kind of a parameter issue, mixed in with a bunch of underlying coral issues. So I'm gonna do a water change soon. I've done two since dosing and not doing water changes and starting it back again, and that. But it's been a rough ride, and just tackling corals, trying to make everyone happy. Like this coral over here used to be suffering, and now he's doing a lot better. But this coral was looking good about he bleached a little bit, and then he was looking good on the road to recovery, and he was doing good, and then he kind of dipped back down a little bit. So I'm hopeful he'll recover, but he's kind of suffering right now too, and it's just everything seems like it's suffering in terms of corals. And so my next coral that I'll talk about is this coral right here. I don't think I had this guy. This is a Rhodactis, some kind of Rhodactis. I don't know the names. There's 50 million of them. But this guy right here, I got him. Super beautiful coral, and I still think he is. But one day my urchin over here, who's doing a really good job at cleaning the algae, let me get a closer shot so you can see him. My pin cushion urchin. Anyways, he knocked over this guy because he wasn't securely glued, and he was on the sand bed for about 2 days because I wasn't home, and he started to like spit out all his guts and stuff. It used to look a lot worse, but like as you can see, he may be a little bit clear, like towards the middle. You can kind of see that it's a little clear, and so he just got a little mad, and so I think he's on the road to recovery. I've been feeding him too, and he's been looking a little bit better, so I'm hopeful that he'll start to grow. But another coral that's suffering is these zoas right here. I had 4 zoas, or I had 5 zoas that I put in this tank, right? I had one right here that died in about 3 months. I had one right there, the Illuminati zoanthid, that I had for about 1.5 years or so, and then he just decided to die because of the whole algae issues. And then I had a Bowser coral, a Bowser zoanthid that just died from dinos, probably 6-7 months ago. And then these 2 corals, they've been with me for a very long time, and I don't want to lose them, but I think they're going to be lost, and I think I'm just going to lose all my zoas ultimately. It's unfortunate. I really like this Sunny D, but it's okay. I think it's time for better and new things, and maybe this will become a mushroom island instead of a zoa, or zoa arc, you see. And then Cocoa Worm's doing fine. He's just in his tube right now. He's doing fine. He was out earlier. And then my acans right here, urchin, also moved this one, so I'm always having to glue these corals back, and it's kind of becoming a mess. But I think it's worth it right now because he's doing a really good job. Hammer coral's been doing really good. As you can see, it's making another split, so it's kind of small right now, not just because it's nighttime, but because it's splitting a whole lot and all that stuff. This Kenya tree, it just fed it, so it's kind of like that, but I think it's also getting irritated by the hammer coral, so I hope there's not a whole lot of issues with that because they're super pretty. And then this guy, I fed him too, and he's kind of mad right now, but he's been doing really good. And then I haven't seen a whole bunch of coloration changes since last video with the GSP, but I'm keeping on feeding. And then this Favia right here just decided to die just completely. So I kind of just, you know, accepted it because I was like, man, it's just, I hate this coral. I just got this coral because I wanted a bunch of corals in my tank, and you know, that's something that I learned. Don't buy corals that you don't want in your tank. Just don't buy corals just to fill up space, you know, because you'll find those corals, and over time, the corals you actually enjoy will fill up your space. So I was fine with him dying. But there's several corals in here that, like, I don't really, you know, enjoy them as much as others. Like, the corals I find super fascinating in this tank right now, it's probably the Ghani whenever it was, you know, fine, right? Like, not now. A lot of moving stuff. Like, I love the frog spawn. I love the Kenya trees. Like, man, like, this Kenya tree right here has started to take a life of its own. I just fragged this one the other day because it was irritating the Duncan and the candy cane before I moved it. But, like, the camera doesn't really do it justice. It's really beautiful, and it's so fluorescent, and it reproduces like crazy. Like you see, let me see. I don't know if the camera will catch it, but there's a dropping down there. I mean, and then the other Kenya tree over here, not as fluorescent, but during the day it's super beautiful. There's droppings everywhere, and they love to reproduce. And so that's why I'm thinking that with my current style of current style of tank, and, you know, just managing it, I think I'm gonna end up switching to a fully dominant or mostly dominant soft coral tank instead of having all these LPS corals. Like, I'll keep my trachea down here and the LPS that do well. I'll keep some of my acans, and I'll keep, you know, depending on whether or not this candy cane dies or not. The reason why I moved him was because that guy was irritating him. He wasn't getting enough light from that monopora, and he wasn't getting enough flow, so I moved him, and he's looking just a tad better. So hopefully things will change. But, like, I'm hoping, and, like, I don't really like that chalice up there, you know, but, like, it's things like that. Like, I just want to I want to just let the soft corals take over my tank, let it fill it up, you know what I mean? Because whenever I first started this tank, I didn't want a tank that was just covered in small little frags. I wanted a tank that looked like this all the way through, you know, just dense with coral and fish loving it, you know. But, like, this is not my ideal tank right now. It's just, you know, there's on top of a lot of algae issues, a lot of coral issues and whatnot. I'm just kind of tired of it, and, like, I'm ready for something new, ready for things to fill out. You know, I'm ready to enjoy this tank. So I'm hoping for the best. So make sure to subscribe if you like this video, and make sure to comment if you want any other videos in the future, and I'll make sure to make them. If you enjoyed, make sure to check out the other content I make on this channel. I make a few long videos. I made a lot in the past, but now I switched my content mainly to shorts. But these videos are dedicated mostly to my loyal subscribers that subscribe from my shorts. So if you enjoy this style of content, make sure to give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.